High Court in Obuasi dismisses election petition filed by former Trade and Industry Minister Kobina Tahiru Hammond challenging the election of Godwin Animli Dogbaji Dorani as Member of Parliament. Also coming up, Inspector General of Police Christian Tete Yohuno cautions individuals or groups planning to foment trouble before, during or after the Akwatia by-election. Also, President John Dramani Mahama calls on African leaders to prioritize peace, economic stability and good governance to attract sustainable investment. Also coming up this afternoon, the Economic and Organized Crime Office grants bail to dancehall artist Charles Ni Ama, popularly known as Shatta Wale, under street conditions. Thank you very much for staying with us. You're streaming live on DSTV channel 277 and all on our social media handles at Metro TV Ghana. Now on to the details of all the stories. President John Dramani Mahama has called on African leaders to prioritize peace, economic stability and good governance as a foundation for attracting sustainable investment into the continent. According to him, Africans' ability to compete globally will be depend on wishful thinking, but on deliberate reforms that create the right environment for trade and business. Speaking at the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICA in Tokyo, Japan, on Thursday, August 21, 2025, the president noted that partnerships with the international community remain important, but the ultimate responsibility rests with African governments.
Strategic geographical location. Ghana is a country through which the meridian and the equator intersect. The two intersect in Ghana's territory, just a few kilometers off our shore. And it's also the host country for the African Continental Free Trade Area. You all have heard the landmark protocol that was signed by African countries so far. Almost 50 African countries have signed that allow us to export duty-free, tariff-free into each other's markets. Increasing numbers of products are being registered. And once you register your product and it meets all the standards, you can export duty-free and tariff-free into each other's markets. And as you were told, the sub-regional market, which is West Africa, is 400 million people. Ghana is 33 million people, and the continental market is 1.4 billion people. And so with the vehicle of the African Continental Free Trade Area, you potentially can export into 1.4 billion market. Simon said it, we are re-establishing macro stability and the growth momentum of the economy. Inflation rose to a high of almost 23% in 2024 and is currently down to 13.7%. And we expect that by the end of the year to hit single digit. And it's also, our cedi has stabilized. For those of you who know the history of the Ghanaian cedi, it's been one of the most volatile currencies in Africa. And a few years back, we were said to be the worst performing currency. I'm happy to announce that this year Ghana cedi has been the best performing currency in the world. And as Simon said, we've been upgraded from junk status to B- with a...
Now, the High Court in Obuasi has dismissed the election petition filed by former Trade and Industry Minister Kobina Tahiru Hammond challenging the election of Godwin Animli Dogbaji Dorani as Member of Parliament for Adansi Asokwa. In a ruling on Tuesday, August 19, 2025, presided over by Justice Kwabena Chumesi, the court imposed a fine of 60,000 cedis on KT Hammond for what is described as time wasting. There is more in the following report.
During the 2024 general elections, KT Hammond lost the Adansi Asokwa seat to Dorani by 954 votes, with Dorani polling 14,229 votes against Hammond's 13,275. Dissatisfied with the outcome, the former minister filed a petition at the Obuasi High Court on January 15, 2025. However, after failing to appear before the court on 3 consecutive occasions, the court proceeded to deliver its ruling on August 19, 2025. Speaking to the media after the proceedings, counsel for the incumbent MP, Richard Andy, said the petition had no legal basis. He added that the ruling would allow his client to focus on his mandate.
Procedural incompetency, statutory breaches, and these were the issues that we laid before the court, that the petition as brought by KT Hammond was not competent to invoke the jurisdiction of the court. And on that basis, the court agreed with us, because when an election petition is brought, they will look at the time the gazetting of the election results was done and when that petition is brought, whether it is within the statutory time limit, which if it is not, then you are out of time and the court cannot hear you. And that is what the court said today.
Godwin Animli Dogbaji Dorani further urged KT Hammond to consider joining the National Democratic Congress, citing that Hammond's parents allegedly belonged to the NDC.
I will urge all well-meaning Ghanaians to, at least, it's not just about running to court. It's about seeing the merit of the case you are sending to the court. And as a person, you must know the reality. You must feel the reality and believe in the reality before embarking on any of such actions. You can't just get up going to court because you just want to frustrate somebody, or because you want somebody to feel that, oh, you are there. It's not, you are there if they say you are there, and at the end of the day, this thing happens, that the whole lawyer will be filing a case and be using what, unregistered lawyer, and will not know that he's supposed to file this within what, the 21 days.
Now, away from that, Economic Organized Crime Office says it has granted musician Shatta Wale a bail of 10 million cedis with 2 sureties following his detention at the office yesterday. Here is the statement from Yoko, which was released this morning. Let's now get onto our screen for the excerpts. Now, Charles Niama Mensah, a.k.a. Shatta Wale, interrogated and granted bail by Yoko. Now, Charles Niama Mensah, a.k.a. Shatta Wale, was invited by Yoko to assist in investigation surrounding the 2019 Lamborghini Urus, a car identified by the FBI and the U.S. Justice Department as proceeds of a $4 million crime involving one Nana Kwabena Amoah, a Ghanaian who is currently serving jail term in the USA. The investigation forms a part of the larger investigation regarding possible co-conspirators in the $4 million crime which occurred in the U.S. involving some Ghanaians and recoveries of the proceeds of the crime. Now, following requests from the FBI and the U.S. Justice Department of Yoko to track the vehicle and conduct local investigations in respect of uncovering possible co-conspirators in Ghana, Yoko began looking for the vehicle until it was identified and seized in and around May this year in the possession of one Charles Niama Mensah. On August 15, 2025, a United States District Court of the Eastern District of Kentucky, Central Division of Lexington, in a criminal case of the United States of America versus Nana Kwabena Amoah, issued an order forfeiting substitute access on the Lamborghini Urus in question, now authorizing the U.S. government to take possession of the said vehicle in Ghana as restitution for the crime. Now, on August 5th, 2025, following a public claim by Charles Niama that he purchased the car at a price of $150,000 from an unidentified party. Yoko issued an invitation to Charles Niama Mensah to report on August 13, 2025, which appointment was rescheduled for August 20, 2025 to 10 a.m. to assist with investigations. Now, Niama was granted bail around 9 p.m. shortly after interrogation ended. He was granted bail of 10 million cedis with 2 sureties to be justified. Once the sureties are presented, hopefully this morning, Yoko would undertake surety inspection, and which is a standard protocol, after which Charles Niama Mensah would leave custody. So far, Charles Niama Mensah has been unable to identify the person from whom he purchased the said Lamborghini vehicle, except to say that he purchased it from the streets, from someone possibly called Zach, who may have contacted him on WhatsApp, but whose identity he does not know and whose contact he has thrown away. Meanwhile, some of his fans have gathered at the Yoko offices demanding his release. Let's take a look at this. Now, to help us better understand the broader issues of tax obligations and possible evasions, I'm joined by Godfrey Okanse, Executive Director of Revenue Mobilization Africa. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Okay. First of all, we've heard of what is happening. Some do not really understand when it comes to tax responsibility, tax obligation. Tell us about it.
Right from the agreement, from the discussion we're having, start point is, let me on a lighter note say I'm a Shatta fan myself.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the lost master.
He has a lot of fans, not too much about that.
So, yeah, but then the truth is that, we bless the industry. I mean, the music industry is one industry that makes a lot of money for countries like America, Europe. You go there, those people are very rich, and Ghana is not an exception. But the amount of the vehicle, exactly, that's some $150,000, okay? Right. He purchased from somebody. Right. And if he has doubts of even where he will find the person now, and the transaction has no proper evidence, you can see clearly from the point of purchase, we've lost some taxes. Right. So, I mean, what shows that person even declared what he received from Niama, which is $150,000. Right. Automatically, he's purchasing a vehicle at $150,000. We bless God for helping him. But then let's look at the tax obligation. How did he pay the taxes over that purchase, actually? And whoever received that money, the person paid taxes, meaning we are looking at losing some revenues around that area already. Tax and the assets that you have to be taxed on the assets you have. So that vehicle, worth $150,000. I mean, show me one poor person or a middle-income person or even a low-income person who can use a Lamborghini, Bentley, Maybach. Exactly, that qualifies him to be among some respected people. I will give you the respect. I mean, that's where we call them the high-income earners. You cannot be earning 10,000 Ghana cedis and buy a Lamborghini. I mean, that's a joke already. Right. So, I mean, that tells you the cost of the vehicle, tells you he's a high-income earning person. So you need to quickly go and check whether he's honoring his obligation as a high-income earner. Okay. That's one of the discussions we can have already. Right. But once we take to this discussion of purchasing the car at $150,000, having to discuss with whether the person also paid taxes over what sales they made, we've lost some revenues. That's a wake-up call to the GRA to ensure that maybe these car dealers go through proper sales points and they are registered and everything else. And then also the vehicles that we are working on the streets. Are we checking how the persons got these vehicles? I think the custom officials are on the road doing every day. I think we should urge them to do more. But this will lead us onto a discussion about an early discussion we have on the table, which is still going on, about luxury taxes on vehicles. Initially in 2019, when some of us projected and proposed the taking of luxury taxes, I think government heard, but they rushed to the table without us.
Okay.
So they placed the taxes on the engine capacity of the vehicle and not the make of the vehicle as we envisaged.
Okay.
So that's when they started luxury tax, and then we had vehicles like the Bola cars and other old patrols with engine capacities of 4.3 roping in that bracket. That was unfortunate. But what we were saying are that these persons who own these cars are automatically high-income earners. But we should move forward and look at what, the initiative of making the rich pay more. That's the principle of taxes. The rich must pay more, middle-income earners must pay in the middle brackets, and then the low-income earners will pay a little. And then, if possible, there should be a threshold where some people who earn very low must be freed, okay. Tax-free threshold. Right. You can, in the Ghana we live today, if the threshold is around 490 for to free people from paying taxes, it doesn't look real. Right. If you are paying somebody 1,000 Ghana cedis and they have 2 children and a wife, they can't even survive. So, you should raise the threshold a little bit. But moving forward with our discussion, this income earners, when it even comes to social services, look at East Legon, where Charles Nyama lives, and his range of people live. Yeah. Within 2016 to 2020, they had seen road only of twice, where the police station is that area and the top breaks into two. Meanwhile, communities around them, when you go beyond to where local government institute is behind to Medina areas, some communities have not even seen a first lay. When it comes to even water, basic water, yeah. You and I who live with water in our houses and it flows, we have the luxury of paying monthly. Sometimes you can even delay or not pay for 2-3 months. But the poor people, the very poor people, actually have to pay per day. 1 bucket, you pay. Yeah. So moving forward, the discussion of this, taxes on luxury vehicles, I think this is the time when we've removed our toll booths and we are bringing back the road tolls. In bringing it back, I've proposed, and I'll keep saying, we should move the road tolls to the DVLA point, where actually vehicle income taxes for commercial vehicles are paid. Let's take the road toll there and make sure everybody else pays. It gives us the opportunity to rather properly arrange and make it progressive. In the progressive bracket, the people who earn more, who owns the Lamborghinis, yeah. the Bentleys, the Maybachs, they pay more. You look at the vehicle, the worth of it, and have maybe because of it's a starting point, just have some cut-off for all of them, so that they'll pay one-off payment for their luxury vehicles, and then give them proper service. When they are using the Maybachs and the luxury vehicles like that, let's give them some A-class services. Maybe if even we have our staff to move to them instead, like the arrows do for the banks. Right. And I proposed, and we fought for it for the GRA. Let the GRA and other tax administrators, go to them in their confines, their offices, their houses, and then give them A-class services. Take more from them, give them the best services, and make sure they pay what they have to pay, just to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. Right. All over the world, you cannot expect those down there and those up there to pay the same time. It will be very regressive a system. But I think, honestly, whilst the discussion, the criminal side should be our side, right. But I'm looking at it from the 150,000 worth of a vehicle, okay. And whoever sold it, we can't even identify the person. Right
now we can't identify who actually bought that from, and that is a problem.
It's a problem.
Right. So, when people are going to buy vehicles or stuff, what should they really do in identifying who they buy it from? Because you can't tell me you bought a car and then you don't know the person you bought it from. Then that is not a good source for you to
You see, we have a free market running in the country. So you go to Circle, you can buy a laptop, just by the roadside, yeah. The gentleman that you're buying. But we should have a system to properly control. Once you take earnings from them, how do you straitjacket them? It tells you how the informal sector, people are selling large things there. When you talk about the informal sector, my dear, people think we are talking about those who are, with all due respect, we're not talking about those who are just selling pens and PK or maybe, we're talking about a sale of a vehicle because of not properly arranging. Somebody has bought a vehicle at the cost of $150,000 and he has not gone through proper checks. So, we cannot even track the person. Yeah. But if there was a system where all the car dealers have registered, and if you have to sell a vehicle, you have to get some cheats or documentation before you sell the vehicle off, then you cannot buy a vehicle in America or buy a house in America without going through proper systems where the government will get their own tax. You can do that deal on the side, but when you are whooped in, you don't forget that day. Yeah. So I think we should have that discussion today. Beginning from this one, let's see the cost of the vehicle and look at the importance of ensuring that high income earners pay taxes that they are due to pay. I mean, let's have an arrangement. Let's have a discussion.
Right.
And
But I mean, in having that discussion, you know, we're talking about the government losing a lot of money because taxes are not being paid, and we are told that some buy some of these things, especially vehicles, from the street, and we are unable to tell how, moving forward, how can the government now look at, you know, more or less checking these things so that when people buy things, they are able to pay their tax, whether they buy it on the street or whatsoever. Can they put measures in place for this?
So a lot of it has to do with mass education. People must even know. Some people are even buying the vehicles. They look at their side of a deal. I mean, they're getting the good deal of a vehicle. I mean, they need the vehicle. It's coming at a very good cost. That's not where you're going to be standing and asking the person, are you going to pay taxes of what I'm buying? But indeed, there should be mass education about it, and there should be systems in place where if I'm buying from you, for my own safety. For example, this one, I mean, this should be a lesson point. I mean, he bought the vehicle with the trust that he's gotten a deal, which is $150,000. Maybe comparatively, when you hear $150,000, you think it's very expensive.
Yes.
But for a vehicle like Lamborghini, I mean, that should be more than that. So he got a good deal. And he followed the aspect of business as in getting a good deal than, you know, going for safety. So now that vehicle over there, they are looking at it and they want to take it from him. But if he had a receipt and the person was a car dealer, he just offloads the troubles by just giving the receipt and showing where he bought it from. So this is what we have to do. GRA must look at the informal sector and give it a second eye again. Those who are dealing and selling properties. These are assets, you know, and you look at it as a moving object. You say, oh, this is just a car. But $150,000 is a house. Right. You know, that's the house moving. So I mean, today the luxurious apartments you see around, they are selling some at $120,000, $140,000. Very, very well placed buildings. You know, and if you have a vehicle selling at that point, that's a whole house. These are big assets, and I think the GRA should improve their ways of, you know, tracking down these. They are doing a lot. They sometimes they stop these luxurious vehicles on the road. I see them on the stretch. They stop these vehicles, check whether they are properly registered. But we should up the game, such that even Ghanaians should be educated more. And when you are buying an asset, this is a vehicle, and this is anything that is worth the weight of your pocket. Make sure you get the right receipting and get the source of sale well registered. Because I mean, you don't lose alone in times like this, but then government is losing a lot of revenue through such deals.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for joining us this
afternoon. Thanks for having me.
We really appreciate that education there. Now, let's move on to other stories. The National Democratic Congress has released guidelines for its parliamentary primaries ahead of the upcoming by-elections in the Tamale Central constituency in the northern region. In a statement signed by the party's General Secretary, Fifi Fiavikwete, the NDC outlined the processes aspirants must follow to participate in the contest. Sorry for that, hitches there. But in a meeting with the executive of Ghana Journalists Association, the Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yohuno, has pledged his unflinching support for journalists, now stating that they will protect them during the by-election in the Equatia elections. He noted that 8 suspects who misconducted themselves during the Ablikuma North rerun will be put before court by Friday, 22nd August 2025.
Not wait a second for somebody to misconduct himself or herself before we ask that they should arrest. We are going to deal with it decisively to make sure that people can feel safe, the media can feel safe. And I assure you that our brothers and sisters from the media, no policeman will attack you. We are there to protect you. It is our duty to protect you, because without you, nobody will know what is happening. Somebody will be at home, he will not be at Akwetia, but he can even see what is going in Akwetia better if it is not you. So all we are telling our police personnel countrywide is that the brothers and sisters who hold the camera and then the phones to take whatever they are doing during the election times, I think there's a level to which they can go, but then you have to be moderate in handling them, making sure that, because without them, the rest of the people who are at home watching, they cannot see what is going on. And we have passed that stage whereby we have to look at the media to be a different group of people. They are part of us. Some of us, we have reached this stage, and without the media, nobody would have heard of our name. I go to my village, and everywhere they will tell you that, even yesterday I saw you on television. Is that my own television? It's not my television. It is your television that put me there. So, DJ President and all our executives in the media fraternity, what we are telling you is that we'll make sure that we'll protect you. Even if it will take me alone to protect you, I will do that.
Now, away from that, former president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, has issued a powerful call for African economic sovereignty, urging the continent to adopt a unified currency and reduce its dependence on the US dollar for trade. Delivering the 2025 annual leadership lecture at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, the former president warned that continued reliance on the dollar undermines Africa's autonomy and perpetuates colonial-era economic structures.
The UPSA annual leadership lecture serves as a catalyst for high-level engagement that bridges national priorities with global challenges, fostering collaborative approaches to leadership and policy. This year's lecture was on the theme, the geopolitics and geoeconomics of de-dollarization, BRICS plus currency strategy, lessons for Africa's common currency and beyond. Delivering his keynote speech, former President of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, emphasized the urgent need for African nations to leverage their natural resources and build self-sustaining economies.
So, BRICS, in my view, is a party that we need to look at. We have, with the Western countries, been around for centuries. There's nothing that has ever been better. Even if you could love them in whatever, but they will never help you. They will teach you their English, that's all. But they would not go further than that. In any way, we need to stand.
Former South African President Jacob Zuma also called for a single currency, highlighting its crucial role in realizing the vision of a self-reliant Africa and long-standing ambitions of Pan-Africanism and integration efforts like the African Continental Free Trade Area.
It is my belief that that time has come. We have every possibility now to be ourselves, to be together, to use our resources for ourselves, sell it to those who buy it. It is us and nobody else. I'm very happy with the stand that this country of ours, number one, has done something important when it comes to things that are dug down, where they change the system so that they are in control. I think it is making such a change that tells that if we come together, we will be the best in the middle of East and West, because we are the best.
Speaking on the sidelines of the event, Minister for Education Haruna Iddrisu called for a national dialogue to examine the risks and potential benefits associated with breaking economic ties with Western countries.
What are the benefits against the ramifications of breaking our ties with the West? That has to be subjected to some national debate and national discussions. Government just can't take a decision on that. We have to weigh what the benefits and the consequences will be. But increased trade and intra-Africa trade, I'm all for it.
The 2025 UPSA Annual Leadership Lecture brought together distinguished leaders from politics, diplomacy, finance, academia, and the broader policy community.
That'll be all for the news updates here on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Helena Nyeweja. We are going for a break, but when we return, my senior colleague Akwesi Efriye will come through with Business Edge. Do stay.
Whether you're a wholesaler, retailer, or consumer, MNC Logistics and Trading is your trusted partner in minerals and food commodities trading. Experience the difference with MNC Logistics and Trading for your commodities trading. We operate a well-equipped laboratory that smelts and assays gold to ensure transparent, credible, and reliable minerals transactions. Our general food commodity market deals with imports and exports of food products such as rice, sugar, and grains. We pride ourselves on delivering products that meet the highest standards of quality and taste. With our expertise in international trading and logistics, we bridge customers far and wide. Locate us at number 4 Neosai Interfo Avenue, East Legon, Accra. Call us on 030-299-8246 or visit our website www.mnclogisticsandtrading.com. MNC Logistics and Trading, hub of confidence.
I'm here at Mycom JA Limited to show you the Promethean Active Panel, the ultimate tool for corporate institutions, hospitals, schools, and your home. With its crystal clear 4K display and an unbreakable screen with an ultra responsive touch technology. This isn't just a screen, it's a game changer. For corporate institutions and in schools, this active panel can be used for Zoom meetings and PowerPoint presentation. And oh, your homes are not left behind. You can use it to watch all your favorite programs by just connecting to a Fire Stick, and you can get access to channels like Netflix and Amazon, and voila, you are in there. At Mycom JA Limited, we provide you with the best quality products from the United States of America with 1-year warranty. You can get an active panel at a discounted price of 18,000 Ghana Cedi only, and it comes with a Fire Stick, a webcam, and a microsystem. You can locate us at Chado Container behind the Trade Fair. Visit Mycom JA Limited today and elevate your tech.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model. Securing your safety. Creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Some loves are born in the blink of an eye.
I've been madly in love with her since the first time I saw her. Then let's get married today.
I'll be the happiest woman in the world by your side.
And they kill your soul in a flash. Televisa presents You Are the One. Angela dreams of keeping her promise to be a great doctor and help her people. To Alvaro, ambition is stronger than his dream. And this greed will lead him to commit the worst betrayal to the woman he loves.
I will have a husband no matter what.
Samantha, will you please marry me?
Turning all her dreams into painful disappointments and dangerous consequences.
I've been waiting for you to answer my calls, Alvaro. I haven't heard anything from you. I've sent you so many messages, but you've never responded.
Have you left the bus station?
I just want to pay my debt and get out of here. Her photographs are going to sell fast, and she will be our gold mine. Our clients will love those.
Are you looking for a boyfriend?
Right, so you are now welcome to the Business Edge segment of the Good Afternoon Ghana show for today, and we are happy to be coming your way, of course. It's in service for God and country, and once we take seats, you know that it is about in-depth analysis of the business news around the world, and so this afternoon we are going to take some what's been happening. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has been talking about how we as an African continent, not just here in Ghana, but of course it begins with our country Ghana, will be able to boost investment. What are we talking about? We need a growth from the very beginning point, agriculture. Now through value addition to agriculture, and then to manufacturing, then to the service economy. On all of these sectors, we need to be able to expand infrastructure, grow the economy, attract investment, and it's not going to be done by the local supporters or local partners alone, but foreign investors. And that's how come we have the Ghana Investment Promotion Council. That's how come we have the Ghana Free Zones Authority. That's how come we have regulations and laws that regulate people who want to invest in our country. So in the energy sector, in the environment sector, in the mining sector, in the oil sector, wherever and whatever it is, we need to be able to attract what we call the FDIs, foreign direct investments. And how do we do this? How do we do this? What His Excellency the President is suggesting is that we need political stability. We need to be able to have a political environment that does not amount to chaos, that does not include riots, that does not include political parties at each other's neck and causing trouble, protests, demonstrations, and so on and so forth. Beyond political stability, there needs to be security for people that come around, for even we, the people that live in the country, to be able to extend it to other investors who are coming into the country. When they see that your country is safe, they are able to come in. Your currency rate and everything else. So President Mahama is using the country, Ghana, as a platform, as a yardstick, as a measurement line for other countries in Africa to emulate and be able to attract investment. So he has been speaking in Tokyo. We'll play that to you in a short while. And then in the lead up to that, or after that interview, or after that bite, we'll have an interview. His Excellency, an ambassador from Indonesia here in Ghana, has been championing the investment drive agenda all this while and all the time. We've hosted him before. We'll bring him back to the studio. We'll go into the depth of this, right from the very beginning, young students through the tertiary to working in the corporate setup, to entrepreneurship, to Ghana startups, to SMEs, to everything that has to do with the business environment and development of the country. How do we get investors to come in, from training to practicalization and everything? We'll be speaking to him pretty shortly. And then IFS has been speaking about the economy, doing some analysis. We'll see if we can get them on the screen to do a presentation for you of what their analysis is, and then we go on with the questions there. If time permits us, we will allow you to send in your concerns, your comments, and anything that we can read for you and read as well for you. That's if time permits us. So it's a packed afternoon. You want to stick and stay with us for the afternoon. It is business, and it is only here on Metro TV. What we'll begin with for the afternoon is the exchange rate, how the city is performing against the major trading currencies. And of course, today we are not starting with the dollar. We are beginning with the euro. So it is buying for 12.6108, buying for 12.6108, and the euro again is selling for 12.6221. 12.6221. Let's see if we can have the dollar or the pound. So now the US dollar is buying for 10.8146, so approximately 10.81, so 10.8146, and selling for 10.8254, 10.8254, and the British pound sterling. The British pound sterling now, let's see how the British pound sterling is also performing on the market, or how the city is appreciating or maybe depreciating against the British pound sterling. So it is buying for 14.5629, 14.5629, and selling for 14.5786, 14.5786. So that's the performance of the cedi against the major trading currencies. And so if you go onto the markets, especially those who are having something to do with these foreign currencies, and it will interest you to take note of the regulations of the Bank of Ghana, that even now for the big corporate entities that are making sales in the foreign currencies, especially the US dollar, you would still have to now trade in the local currency, which I think is some good news in a pursuit to stabilize, the cedi against the major trading currencies. So it's in order as it is. Lots of regulations coming from the Bank of Ghana recently, which we think are very good to guide and guard the stability of the cedi against the major trading currencies. Let's see what President Mahama has been saying in Tokyo, and then we can have our interview from there.
And the thing is, what does Ghana have to offer? Strategic geographical location. Ghana is a country through which the meridian and the equator intersect. The two intersect in Ghana's territory, just a few kilometers off our shore. And it's also the host country for the African Continental Free Trade Area. You all have heard the landmark protocol that was signed by African countries. So far, almost 50 African countries have signed that allow us to export duty-free, tariff-free into each other's markets. Increasing numbers of products are being registered. And once you register your product and it meets all the standards, you can export duty-free and tariff-free into each other's markets. And as you were told, the sub-regional market, which is West Africa, is 400 million people. Ghana is 33 million people. And the continental market is 1.4 billion people. And so with the vehicle of the African Continental Free Trade Area, you potentially can export into 1.4 billion market. Simon said it, we are re-establishing macro stability and growth momentum of the economy. Inflation rose to a high of almost 23% in 2024 and is currently down to 13.7%. And we expect that by the end of the year to hit single digit. And it's also, our cedi has stabilized. For those of you who know the history of the Ghanaian cedi, it's been one of the most volatile currencies in Africa. And a few years back, we were said to be the worst performing currency. I'm happy to announce that this year, Ghana's cedi has been the best performing currency in the world. And as Simon said, we've been upgraded from junk status to B- with a stable outlook. And I'm certain that in the next review, we're going to be upgraded again. We're open for business, and Simon and Co are busy at work reviewing the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act. Some barriers were put to foreign investment. You had to prove that you had brought in a certain amount of money to be classified as a foreign investor. In the reviewed Ghana Investment Promotion Center. And the thing is, what does Ghana have to offer? Strategic geographical location. Ghana is a country through which the meridian and the equator intersect. The two intersect in Ghana's territory, just a few kilometers off our shore. And it's also the host country for the African Continental Free Trade Area. You all have heard the landmark protocol that was signed by African countries. So far, almost 50 African countries have signed that allow us to export duty-free, tariff-free into each other's markets. Increasing numbers of products are being registered. And once you register your product and it meets all the standards, you can export duty-free and tariff-free into each other's markets. And as you were told, the sub-regional market, which is West Africa, is 400 million people. Ghana is 33 million people. And the continental market is 1.4 billion people. And so with the vehicle of the African Continental Free Trade Area, you potentially can export into 1.4 billion market. Simon said it, we are re-establishing macro stability and growth momentum of the economy. Inflation rose to a high of almost 23% in 2024 and is currently down to 13.7%. And we expect that by the end of the year to hit single digit. And it's also, our cedi has stabilized. For those of you who know the history of the Ghanaian cedi, it's been one of the most volatile currencies in Africa. And a few years back, we were said to be the worst performing currency. I'm happy to announce that this year, Ghana cedi has been the best performing currency in the world. And as Simon said, we've been upgraded from junk status to B- with a stable outlook. And I'm certain that in the next review, we're going to be upgraded again. We're open for business, and Simon and Co are busy at work reviewing the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act. Some barriers were put to foreign investment. You had to prove that you had brought in a certain amount of money to be classified as a foreign investor. In the reviewed Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act, we're removing those minimal capital investments.
Right, so that's some refreshing presentation by the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, about the current state of economy here in our country. And most people are talking about the macroeconomic indicators transcending now into the micro. That's been the concern particularly and regularly for a lot of people when finance ministers, when economists are touting the performance of the economy, especially on the global front, and how the major indicators are working, and people begin to ask the questions, how are they trickling down in the pockets of the layman on the streets, and how are we, the very lay people on the streets, feeling the impact of these macroeconomic indicators that are being trumpeted? Currently, what is happening is that you have these laymen talking and mentioning and pushing and asking the retail traders, even the wholesale traders, to reduce their prices to reflect what is being trumpeted. And we have some of them actually reducing their prices, while others have also not reduced theirs. But it's all a good picture as it is now, a good picture. It is little by little, we will definitely get there. Most importantly for me, I have a champion of investment drives here in Ghana, and not where he represents or what he represents only, but for the entire economic spectrum to grow, for FDIs to come in, for business development to go on, for small and medium-scale enterprises to expand and become large corporate entities, and so on and so forth. So the honorary consulate of Indonesia, His Excellency Pascal Royce, is here with me, and he has endorsed President Mahama's call for an amendment to the GIPC Act. So that's part of what President Mahama, the statement that he had made in Tokyo. He's calling on him to do that. Let me welcome him. We'll begin the discussion from somewhere, but we'll still come back to the GIPC Act. His Excellency, thank you very much for joining me. It's been a while, though.
Yes.
I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing extremely well.
And everything is going on fine.
Fine, very well.
And the support you are giving Ghanaians through Indonesia, and you are continuing with that. At the last time we met, we're asking you how the support is, and you were enumerating a lot of things that you have been doing on your behalf, on the behalf of the country Ghana, on behalf of Indonesia, and the number of people that you are supporting. You're still on it?
Yes, we're still doing that.
And how is it going so far?
It's going smoothly. Even as we speak, 7 students are leaving the shore of Ghana on this very coming Saturday.
Oh, this Saturday?
This very Saturday to Indonesia, who have qualified for the KMB scholarship. It's a fully funded scholarship from the government of the Republic of Indonesia. And as I said, we are paying for their air tickets, we are paying for their stipend, accommodations.
Oh, so
everything.
It's 100% free?
It's free, 100% free. And I am so happy. You know, like what the President John Mahama is doing, you know, without education, we won't be able to achieve the goals. He's trying to reset the country. In resetting the country, when you are doing it, others will be pulling back out of or lack of education.
Yes.
But when we educate our people, when we give them the opportunity, then we are talking about knowledge transfer. These people go into other countries like the Japan, the president is currently now, to Indonesia, to Malaysia, to other places or countries in Asia, and either America or Europe, to learn about their system. During their exchange program, like the scholarship. When they come back, then they are supposed to implement those things here. So you will see that there are a lot of people who are speaking my country language, which is Bahasa. When Indonesia is coming in with, let's say, technology transfer, definitely these students who have gone to study and learn in that language, the Bahasa, will be able to help the Ghanaians who can't speak that. So they will be translating and telling them, be intermediary. As the president is in Japan now, probably if the prime minister who speaks the Japanese language is now speaking, and then also we have student body there that are there because Japan has done so well way back to support Ghana in education sector, in other sectors. So I believe the call for this is very, very important and it's needed.
But do you monitor the support, the results that come out of the support, like you're saying, people getting jobs, interpreting languages and so on and so forth? Do you monitor and see results?
Yes. If you ask that question for me to respond to that, the result might not be 50% or 100%. However, these people still find themselves in the various space of working in the English environment, which we belong to here in Ghana. As I speak to you, there are some students who have gone to do PhD in Indonesia. As they are back to Ghana, they are in America now. They've been speaking with me. They left to America in order to lecture over there. Some are still in those schools. I have one of them also in Ho Technical Institute, University, Ho Technical University. That is a lecturer who went to do PhD in hospitality tourism, and he's back. He's lecturing there. So we have other people in various segments, sectors. I have some of the students who are finishing school now. As we speak, when they come back, they will be in the research centers. These are going to help. One of the students, John Agbolusu, who is finishing now, he will finish, he's actually coming to the country, but he will go back. He is willing to work in a research institute. So you could see the impact of what we are talking about here. And I believe so much that even though the call is a good one, we must be prepared with our mindset. We must have a change of mindset. The way we do things, we must change it. Other than that, these people will come and do the investment. The money will go back, and we will not be able to do that.
Let's begin from the basics. You are endorsing President Mahama's call to revamp the act, to expand the base, to allow an ease up of the system for a lot of investors to come in, because that's what you do. You are bringing investors to come into the country all the time. You are sending people out to go and learn best practices and come back to support. So how is this placed? How is this going to revamp or open up the system if the act is reacted on or acted upon?
Sincerely, these countries that we are calling to come into Ghana to assist us or for the agenda that His Excellency John Dramani has put across, these countries were also supported by other countries and by themselves.
I agree, yeah.
You can't live in isolation and expect to do well or to do better. So this call, it's for our good. And that is why I've always been pushing and bringing the investors in, encouraging them. Ghana is the gateway to Africa. If we are the gateway, why can't we seize that moment and take advantage of that? Even look at it, where the African Free Trade headquarters is here in Ghana. That means everything will definitely pass through. The geographical position the president was telling people.
Are we taking advantage of these? I mean, you have just mentioned that we are the gateway to Africa.
Yes.
All the resources we have, all the maybe human capital, I would say we have. Are we taking advantage of that opportunity? There is Galamsey destroying all our things.
Yes.
We want investors to come in.
Galamsey is just one portion of the whole entire country. Galamsey is not done in the whole country.
Yes, I agree.
And where the businesses are done, Galamsey is not there. However, we are the same people who allow the people to come in to do the Galamsey. Okay, so someone wants to do gold mine and doesn't have the money, but the law says that foreigners cannot take part in this. But the person travels out and get the funding from other places and then start the Galamsey, being the small scale. So you see that these people don't have that enough money to be doing the Galamsey. It is an sponsored activity. So if we can control that sponsored activity and channel it into other production, like the president is saying, he's now reducing, or he's trying to make an amendment to the GIPC law or rules by saying that we have to reduce it. To be honest, we are going to have foreigners flooding into this country. And this is the moment we have to take advantage. We, the business people, we, the entrepreneurs. You know, entrepreneurs are willing to do businesses. For instance, I have businesses. I'm a serial entrepreneur. However, the banks are not helping to give me the loan.
The interest rates
are so high.
And we are comparing ourselves to...
Even the interest rate being high, we are willing to pay. But the banks are not willing to give you the funding. And we are losing contract, and we are losing jobs elsewhere. This is one of the things that the government is trying to solve. If our local banks or foreign banks in the country operating can't be in a position to help, he is bringing in the foreigners, okay? When the investors come, definitely the law is working, where the system says that you must have a local partner in order to operate.
So if I get it, you are in support 100% of the agenda to expand the front to allow more investors to come in, and you think that it will grow the economy, it will grow the local investors and even the small businesses.
That is exactly what it is, and the point is, and I have no doubt supporting the president. I am saying this because Indonesia, for instance, where I come from or where I represent here in Ghana.
And let me remind people, we are speaking to the honorary consulate of Indonesia to Ghana, His Excellency Pascal Royce. And I mean, he's everything. He's an entrepreneur, he's a businessman, he's His Excellency, he's a diplomat, and all of that. But we are learning from him today. So let's come back.
Let them know, even though I'm a diplomat, I sell tomatoes in the market. And that, so the reflection is there.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say is that you can't, there is no way all Ghanaians can put their heads together and develop Ghana. No country has ever done that.
Alone,
even America, even wherever. Even IMF that is giving us the loan, it is not IMF's money. The money doesn't belong to IMF. Therefore, we need to look at this. If IMF is not willing or ready to release the funds for this, and we have other places or we can get the money from, we are so smart. And the president is a very smart person. And you could see how he's working. Let me share this with the people or your viewers.
Yes.
The visit to Japan by the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is not only to Japan. Before I wake up this morning, I have received several messages from Indonesia and from Malaysia.
That he will be going through there?
Yes, he will be going to Malaysia after this place.
Wow.
But I have received calls and messages. I wish I could even show the viewers to see, saying that this is what is happening in Japan. They are interested. They have heard the president. You know, social media is working now.
So they want to see the president come through.
Come
They
through.
can have a conversation.
Even whether the president is able to visit their country or not, the message is so clear.
It's gone
we
to
are
them.
giving you hands down, come to our country. You no longer need the 1 million that you are now thinking, how do you bring it? It's now cut down to 50,000. Even you and I can put 50,000 together.
We can
so
come together
they
and
are
raise
going
the
to
amount.
flood the place now. But what we are saying is, we, the Ghanaian, must take advantage of this so that when the people come, one, job opportunities are going to be there.
Yes.
And then also an opportunity for the entrepreneurs where you are going to have a local content partnership there. So now when you have a partnership, you must live a good life where you must be sincere to the people. Honesty in business is key so that everything moves successfully. Don't do things to dupe the people. Now, what I am calling for the president to do also is that they should put a law or a system in place. When these investors come in and they work and they get over billions of dollars, repatriating the money should be guided, like what Bank of Ghana is doing now. That is what will continue to give the cedi the strength over that. Then also,
that's an important, a very important
we are
point
not
that
thinking of
we
that.
we have not considered.
We've not considered it.
Because if you look at it, we have a chunk of the economy, especially in the retail sector. You would see Melcom, you would see the China malls, you would see Chinatown, you would see even the big companies, most of them, who are maybe a bigger percentage foreign and a smaller percentage Ghana. So when they make the profits, obviously, the percentage that belongs to the foreigners would have to go back, which we cannot stop anyway. But if it's guided in such a manner that it will control our currency and control and help guide and guard, we'll be okay.
That is the point. The parliament need to go into this. And then also other stakeholders must put this in place to enable these rules to work with the foreigners, the investors. If not, because remember, the law says give 10% minimum to us. So I agree to take a 10%. Come, let's do Royce Air. Come, let's do Royce Travel. Come, let's do Royce Oil or Royce Energy. Now, I am bringing investors who are coming to build the renewable industry where we want to produce about minimum is 500,000 megawatts to 2,000 megawatts. Currently, I am working on investors to come with Royce Energy. Now, building this, when it comes, Ghana will never have anything called Doomsaw or whatsoever again. But when these investors come, I'm definitely going to have some percentage. My livelihood and my family and my friends now to attend funerals, weddings, and contribute to people's school fees, and that will be good. But the chunk of the money
will go back to the investors who are
investor. So the reason they allow their investors to go to other countries to make is that they know that money will be coming back into their country.
Fair enough.
What are we also doing? Can we start pushing some entrepreneurs here also in Ghana to be able to go to African countries
and
when
do
we have
investments and bring
like
money back?
Like what Togbe Apada is doing.
Yes,
Kudos to him. Togbe Apada, Manyiba now. To be honest with you, when he brought in the Asogli power plant, he's not only in Ghana. He's been moving around African countries like Cameroon and some other African countries to establish this same type of project that he has successfully made here in Ghana. That is something that will be coming back to Ghana once the other share go to China. This is what we are looking out for. When the investors come, let's encourage the investors. Let's do what is right. Then we can move them from here to Ghana, from Ghana to other countries. That will give us also some foreign kind of...
So it's important that the act is rewritten, very, very important, to support the growth of the businesses that are coming in and their stability here. Let me ask you this. Currently, we are boasting of a very good economic environment. What some of the foreigners want is a stable economic environment. So we just presented the performance of the cedi against the major trading currencies. But investors will tell you, or traders will tell you, yes, it is appreciating, but we want it to be stable so that we can do projections over the next 2 months or 3 months or 6 months and know that when we come, we'll come and buy it at this way. fuel, same, other factors of production and development and all of that same. Do you think that we are well placed currently as a country and a good enough environment placed to welcome you and other investors that are coming in?
Within the 6 months' work of this current government with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, I can assure you that investors
are happy.
They are excited. They've built confidence in Ghana than before. They are interested in coming in. I have people who have left Ghana from Indonesia businesses.
I was going to ask you, so how are you?
They are regretting. They want to come back, but I want to answer your question first.
So you've answered that because I'm coming to Indonesia, in particular.
Yes, and they are regretting of leaving, and then now they want to come back. Why? Because the cedi is stable now.
Very stable now.
The currency is working. If the minister, Honorable Ato Forsen, he's doing so well, and
they
then,
say Ato is forcing.
Yes, Ato, you are forcing. You are forcing, and then to the Bank of Ghana. Also,
Yes.
I mean, as a whole, as a team, they are working so hard to put this in place. And when you look at the dollar today, it's crying, and the cedi, it's moving, and my student even called me in Indonesia and say, now when we change they have been sending money back to their parents back home.
Yes.
So now we don't get it. I said, that is a good sign. It means soon prices of things are going to be lower.
I have some people in Switzerland who say their remittances don't
It's
value
true.
how it was
Of course.
before.
Yes. So to go to your question that you asked earlier, this is going to help all investors. But remember, it is not only the foreign investors that this is going to help. It is going to help me, who will also buy cement to build, who will also buy pure water or bottled water, who will also buy something. Remember these investors, when they are coming in, it is going to cut across to help everybody. Even those in real estate, your homes who for many years now that has not been rented will now be rented. Now, drivers who are going to be driving these investors are going to get job. The cleaners back home who are looking for job opportunities are going to work for some of these investors' home as cleaners and as cook and etc. Now, you and I also, this is going to put money into our pocket because people will be coming here to do more adverts here in Metro TV because they want to make more sales. And when it goes on that way, the economy is growing. Already within the 6 months, as I stated earlier, the economy has set itself better. There is no way anyone will say Ghana isn't doing well. If you say so, then let me take a flight, let me pay for your flight or your car to travel to Nigeria. Then you look at it and compare and see if you will appreciate Ghana or you will appreciate Ghana. So Ghana has gained or regained that confidence the investors are looking out for. And there is one thing I am happy about that the president has brought out, which Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs,
Honorable
Okudzeto Ablakwa, in his speech that he delivered, I think yesterday, that he stated that the president is giving a task or a target to each ambassador to be able to meet. That is a good call. I have always been preaching for this. And even in one of my letters to the president, I stated that each ambassador should be given a target. You are going to represent the country, and you must have marketing mindset. You must have a business minded.
I come back to the point of, I am finding it difficult to place it, but the point of square pegs in round holes or round pegs in square holes, where because somebody is an affiliate or because somebody supports me or because I necessarily have to put in somewhere. Because we have all of these ambassadors who travel out of the country and they forget that they are brand Ghana. They are supposed to invite investments. They just go and sit down and sign papers and give people visas and so on. Nothing at all.
That round and square hole you are talking about, they must look for the carpenter to drill that hole for it to go in.
But now,
that
yes,
is where the
if
president...
you have a leader who now says,
Yes.
this is your target, bring me this result,
Yes.
else I'll replace you.
Of course.
Then yes, we are getting somewhere.
Of course. And that is it. And everybody must ensure that when you get to your ambassadorial position, you work so hard to meet that target. Let me say this. You don't need to be affiliated with the president or be his best friend. One good thing is we have a good president who is also looking into it, saying that with his reset agenda, he is giving his position to people whom he believes they can do the work, not because you are just affiliated.
And I'm happy about the target point. You see, it's the same thing with him giving target to chief executive officers and meeting with SIGA and setting a timeline for them that by the end of the year or two, if I don't see any better development in the sector you're operating, then I'm going to replace you.
No.
And that's how we have to go as a country.
The ambassadors must begin to understand that they are marketing officers.
Exactly.
They are bankers. When a bank officer, goes out with the bank vehicle, you have to bring good results.
Exactly.
You have been given a target monthly, $2 million, and that you have to go for it. Every ambassador should be given. That is what will make them that they don't just go there to chill or to enjoy. They must be on their toes. And I am encouraging His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He's done so far with the various lists that are out with ambassadorial positions, but I think he needs to do more than only looking at to people who have sacrificed or have done something for the party. We have people who can go out there and lobby and bring more money and more investment into the country.
It's another important point, the consultation with you, the businessmen, you, the people that are in the field, the academicians, the NGOs, and everybody consulting with them and making
For
sure
instance,
that the agenda is met.
My good friend, the white man, Ghana man, Kojo Chu, when he was giving, people were trying to say no, they don't agree. But the president knows why he has put that man there, because he is a serial entrepreneur. The guy is a businessman, has businesses. You could know of all the businesses he has done. Such a person, when you put him there, he's not an academician to write thesis which he cannot end up defending. This is practical work. Put people in place to be who can hold the flag of Ghana, who can wear the flag of Ghana, and Ghana will become one of the best that Dr. Kwame Nkrumah back then has instituted.
Let's now situate it between Ghana and Indonesia. I mean, now you have alluded to the fact that there is a conducive environment.
Yes.
People who went out are ready to come back, or they are sad that they went out, they wish that they were still in. Between Ghana and Indonesia, how are you? And you are the main, let me say the fulcrum of that relationship. And you, everything hinges on you. If it succeeds, we commend you. If it doesn't, we have to come at you, because you are the reason for whether it will happen or not. And so how are you and your people in Indonesia and even in Ghana making sure that we maximize an impact, or the impact from the relationship, and what is happening currently?
Already, we have Indonesian companies here in Ghana who are operating. Some are in the energy drink. Some are into soap, like Medisoft. Medisoft is produced right here in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes, by Peace Indo Ghana Limited.
Okay.
Yes.
So the company is from Indonesia?
It's from Indonesia, but
in
yes,
Ghana,
yes, in
and
Tema.
producing Medisoft.
Producing Medisoft and other soaps and other products here in
I've
Ghana.
used that because of its chemical, and they said it protects something. So there was a time I got a recommendation to buy that. Specifically.
Yes.
So
yes, and it's still working.
Good.
Yes. And when you look at it, today as we speak, Ghana will soon, in a few months, be the first to produce vaccine in Africa.
Wow.
And Ghana is being supported by Indonesian government, which is a state-owned enterprise or state-owned company called Biopharma.
Okay.
Biopharma is investing hugely in Ghana by partnering with Atlantic Life Sciences, that is into pharmaceutical.
Okay.
So they will be producing the vaccines for early childhood, problems and solutions, and other vaccines. As we speak, a team of Atlantic Life Sciences, which is a Ghanaian company, has already gone to Indonesia for training, which they are back already first phase. The second phase will be going. Now they are bringing equipment down here to be installed in Ghana. That is technology transfer. After the knowledge transfer, we are having the technology transfer to follow up. Now, if Ghana is producing vaccines and now will be distributed across Africa, isn't that a good news for the economy?
It is very good news.
Isn't that going to help the Atlantic Life Science, my good friend Triparty, to grow in strength? Now, Indonesia is coming in to build a refinery. We are bringing one of the biggest refinery in Ghana. When His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo,
so it is not only in the health sector that you are supporting.
In various sectors.
In various sectors.
Yes.
So you've mentioned in the pharmaceutical sector, in the health sector, vaccine, and you are bringing in a refinery.
A refinery. Last year, September, I led His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo and the President of Liberia to Indonesia for Indonesia African Forum. And in this forum, the two presidents discussed and agreed that they are going to support Ghana to build one of the refineries. Refinery in Indonesia is like a filling station. They have a lot. Remember, Indonesia is big.
Yes,
Indonesia,
very big.
If the viewers don't know, Indonesia is the 4th largest populated country in the world, with a total population of over 280 million to 300 million people.
That's Ghana times 10.
Ghana times 10.
That's Ghana
with,
times
with
10.
77,000 islands, yet they don't face that problems. They look for solutions for their problems.
There is no doom so there.
There's no doom so. You can't. As a president, they will take you off. They will take you off. There's no doom so. So they are having a lot of all these things. And Indonesia has two or three different time zones. People in Jakarta have a different time zone. People in Bali
you'll be sleeping and somebody will be waking up.
2 hours ahead of in Bali. So this is Indonesia. And what I am wearing is Indonesian product. It is handmade.
I thought it was made in Ghana.
No, it's not made in Ghana. This is Indonesia. Remember, I'm representing Indonesia.
Yes, I know.
So I am here with the cloth. And this is made by hand, not printed like Printex and Co. It's not printed. This is handmade. Ghanaians can begin to go into some of this. Yes, I'm serious. It's handmade. This is it. This is it. It's handmade. It doesn't fade. What we call batik that we've been tightening and we've been using, this is their batik. And those who know
this means you have a lot of work. You've been doing enough. Yes. But you still have a lot of work to do, because if there is all of this and the country keeps looking at Europe and the Americas and even China now, you still have a lot of work to do to make sure that, of course, that's why I'm saying you're doing enough. But you still have more to do.
I agree with you. I still have more, and I am still doing more. But to answer that question, it is our mindset. We need to psych our mind now, okay, and shift from a different kind of mindset. Because people think, I am not trying to say Americans are not doing well, Europeans are not doing well. But let's be sincere. When you talk about technology-wise, everything is now found in Asia. Go to Asia and see the kind of construction work that is going on and see kind of work that a lot is being manufactured from there and assembled somewhere in America, somewhere in Europe. So Africans must focus now on Asia to tap into that. You see, we need this partnership. We need this partnership to be able to do what? Stand on our own. For instance, I am speaking good English because I had a partnership with my teachers from the basic level to tertiary. And today I can communicate well because they guided me. This is all Ghana is looking for. So that in the next 20 years to come, even 20 years is too far, I am promising you the way Ghana is going, if we can remain focused, Ghana will do better. Look at Indonesia. Indonesia manufactures almost every single item that they use. They manufacture their own aircraft, being helicopter, being aircraft for commercial use, being whatsoever. They are fire tenders. They manufacture weapons. They manufacture weapons.
All in Indonesia.
All in Indonesia. Armored vehicles and a whole lot. The military uniform, where there is a company, a state-owned company that manufactures military uniforms and other uniforms per se, is a clothing in the factory, which employs over 50,000 workforce. So you can imagine if this type of companies liaise with Ghana and come down here. Are you saying that Ghana will not look better?
We will be more than better.
A
We
lot
will
of,
actually be more than better.
in agriculture sector, Indonesia is very good when it comes to agriculture. And the government of Indonesia last year tasked me to look out for this about, that is about 35,000 hectares.
Of land.
Not acres. 35,000 hectares. That is what we are looking out for now for palm plantation. Did you know that in Africa, in Ghana inclusive, palm plantation, we only gain 5 or less product from one palm fruit? If it is not the palm wine, which we call deha in every language,
Well,
if it is not
palm soup.
if it is not jomi or the palm oil, or if it is not beku, which is the under of the thick one, is what we call beku. Okay, and then if it is not the palm frond that we use for basket weaving,
yes,
or use for kwacha, or use for maybe palm frond kind of shed. What else do we gain from that? But Indonesia can get over 100 to 200 products, even medicine
from a palm tree.
Medicine, the biofuel that the aircraft use, the
Yes,
jet
yes,
fuel,
yes, yes.
they get
The
it-
kernel.
No, the
biofuel.
Fuel that
They get it from
the
the
private
palm.
jets and the jet aircraft use and all that. They get it from the palm oil. Now, my grandmother back in the village does this. This is what they do. Now, when they prepare the palm oil, you see the wastewater. What do, BCCA?
We throw it away.
We throw it away.
throw it
Indonesia, you can never throw it away. That is what they now use to get a fuel out of it. So Ghana can do better if they are doing so well. Ghana can do very, very well with these opportunities I'm sharing with them now. And Indonesia is willing to partner with people. How about coffee? We produce coffee here in Ghana. There was a time...
When is the next Ghana, Indonesia, Africa Forum?
The
You
next,
went
yes,
last year.
yes, the
You
last
went
time.
last year.
But
Are
even
you
we have
going
a
again
trade
this year?
expo. Yes, we're going to do
Trade
it this
expo.
way, September.
You have
and
to
then-
include Metro TV.
Of
Maybe you have
course.
to fund Metro TV.
Okay, we will see what to do. That is a good call.
You have to.
Yeah, no,
Then
we will do that.
Because all of these things you are saying, it's important that our people
No,
appreciate.
it's very, very important. And when you get to the forum, you see other countries are fighting for their own. Ghana is not having an embassy in Indonesia. The High Commission is in Malaysia. Me, I work, even though I am the honorary consul for Indonesia, I go overboard. I
Yes,
work
and
for
do all
almost
of- all
Asia.
of-
I work for Malaysia. I work for Indonesia. I work for this, and just to support, because they are all, they call them ASEAN. It's Association of All Asia Southeast, and you know Indonesia is the biggest and the largest
Yes.
in there that is doing well now. One of the things that we can do, like you are saying, is the trade expo that is going to take place also. We take advantage of this trade expo, which will take place in October.
Okay.
Why don't you come, we go, and bring things? There are a lot of product already here that people are using, but they don't know it's an Indonesian product. One of them is Indomie.
Oh, Indomie is from Indonesia.
Indomie is from Indonesia. It simply means short form of Indonesia, Indo. And we call noodles as mi. So Indonesian noodles, which is called Indomie. And then also, and it's in where you are going to spin test. And then also we have other kind of product that are here. Even So Clean, the washing powder.
Oh.
It's an Indonesian product. That means you're already using that, but you
So,
don't know.
When is the trade expo coming on? Oh,
The
you
trade
said
expo
October.
will be in October.
Okay.
Yes.
So
and
if you find us, we have very good producers. We have Sandra, we have Derek. We'll give you somebody to go
Sandra
with.
and Derek, be ready for us to go.
We'll give you somebody, them to go with. And they will bring us very good stories.
Yes.
And then we can really follow up
Yes.
on all of these.
The good
So-
news
so-
is we have a new ambassador now in Abuja. Yes, he just arrived in Nigeria.
Okay.
Ghana, Togo, Benin, and other 10 other countries all fall under the embassy in Abuja.
Okay.
And this ambassador
Okay.
is very, very serious about supporting people like you guys,
Yes.
like Metro TV. So I
Yes.
believe he will be watching this and that he will be willing to assist.
I'm excited about it. I think that we should take the conversation further. And so we definitely must and see how we can support the investment drive of His Excellency the President and develop our country here in Ghana. Because so far as you are here and you are supporting it, we create more jobs, we get more people to get employed, and we solve the economic problem. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Terima kasih. That means thank you. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Then you say sama sama.
Sama sama.
Good.
Sama sama. So
Good.
That's the honorary consulate of Indonesia in Ghana, His Excellency Pascal Royce. We are taking it, and I'm going for break, but we are taking that live on there. So that's a promise from you. And then again, I'll work with Von and the CEO for Ignite.
Good.
And my managers, and we'll work on it
Yes,
immediately.
yes.
So we'll contact you immediately.
Thank you.
So thank you very much once again.
Once
We'll
again,
go
thank
for a very quick break. When we come back, there is another discussion. You want to stick and stay with us.
I'm a brand. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
We brought you the first two conferences, which were awesome. Great leadership ideas shared. On popular request, the third in the series of Women in Strategic Leadership Conference, put together by ASWAM and Tarragon, comes off on September 24 to 27 at the Plash Camp Chache Resort, Adan. Come, engage with astute women with 86 or 024-403-5731. Come and let's advance women in leadership while creating a supportive community. 31. Come and let's advance women in leadership while creating a supportive community, as well as empower women in leadership.
You are the one. Featuring Alejandra Robles Gil, Brandon Peniche, Danilo Carrera, Bárbara Islas, Ernesto LaGuardia, and a great cast.
Whether you're a wholesaler, retailer, or consumer, MNC Logistics and Trading is your trusted partner in minerals and food commodities trading. Experience the difference with MNC Logistics and Trading for your commodities trading. We operate a well-equipped laboratory that smelts and assays gold to ensure transparent, credible, and reliable minerals transactions. Our general food commodity market deals with imports and exports of food products such as rice, sugar, and grains. We pride ourselves on delivering products that meet the highest standards of quality and taste. With our expertise in international trading and logistics, we bridge customers far and wide. Locate us at number 4 Neosai Interfo Avenue, East Legon, Accra. Call us on 030-299-8246 or visit our website www.mnclogisticsandtrading.com. MNC Logistics and Trading, hub of confidence.
Fifra ye free nyina ye de ebedi ntia de ya fuji ani aduane saasro pintin bi aseda o me de ye di koye mu ne de awie nyina na makuafo modem so won fifre su ne nya bidio na so bate aseman Ghana mu a akuafo akoya abo pupu obo wasio na so da su kache wona sam fifre ma mu nyina nya bidie na nso mpuntujuo mu aka akiri pa ekwan ben ne ebefa so ama akuafo fifre ho abanfa so de aban hyehye ne dwumadi ahodo ode bre akuafo no bo wote ase Feed Ghana ye den na nkokọ ketenkete so mfa so ma akuafo so ye den we inti na hyehye dwumadi esunkwa ya to ne akuafo mo ye de bre Original TV and Metro TV so dwumadi beba akwanya ama mpanyimfo animde ewa abafukaye mu akire wadwen ye je akuafo ha no amane akoji mu aye e de free abamu mpanyimfo ho enimi ni ehia akuafo nyonko samo honto eda joada enwumre no nso kosi ne no nwotwe e Original TV so saaso na da yawada enwumre no nwotwe kosi no nkono e Metro TV so akuafo mo Ghana akuafo abomode na yempene wo.
Ekuyafumo is sponsored by ACAP Compost. ACAP Compost comes in 3 varieties: ACAP Compost X, ACAP Compost Plus.
Also, you all come back from the break. We are still on Business Edge right here on Good Afternoon Ghana. And in the second segment of our program, the Institute for Fiscal Studies has called for a comprehensive reset of Ghana's revenue mobilization strategy with a particular focus on the extractive sector. Now, this is one of about 4 or the many recommendations put out by the Institute for Fiscal Studies on the mid-year budget review, and of course, a lot of other financial reports that they've put together and analyzed the economy. What we have, which is very important for us this afternoon, is that I have the acting executive director of the Institute of Fiscal Studies, Dr. Said Boache, with me here in the studio. Doc, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I hope you're doing very well.
I'm doing great. About you guys?
We are doing also very well.
Good.
Now, I'm going to allow you to talk, but we have how the budget, media review budget was. The finance minister presented to us the performance of some of the indicators, the inflation, the MPC rate, the interest rate, and so on and so forth, and how the economy is performing, the establishment of Good Board and how it is performing. You have done a review of the presentation brought by the finance minister. We've captured bits and pieces of the finance minister's statements and the reports you have done, some of the financial papers you have reviewed. But let me generally ask you what the review is on and how is the economy performing? What are the pointers of your review?
To begin with, we started, our review started giving general background to what we carried out. and we reviewed the macroeconomy. And for the first half of 2025, things have improved, significantly.
Year on year?
Year on year, when it comes to what you call growth rate, year on year, things have improved. Inflation has gone down drastically. In fact, throughout 2024, inflation ranged between 23%, around beyond 20%, and 28%. But then there has been a breakout from what we were in 2024, and now inflation is around 13.7%.
And that's a some significant breakout.
difference. And interest rate has come down and everything. But our focus is on the budget.
Okay.
How the budget performed in the first half of 2025, and the budget, the total budget the government has put together for the year, and government policies in general. This is what we assessed. To begin with, we said, when it comes to our assessment, the government faced a very big challenge in the first half of the year, fiscal-wise, not on the macroeconomic front, fiscal-wise, because revenue performance in the first half of the year fell short of target by around 3.24 billion. Usually, when the government is only able to collect all the revenue they had budgeted for, the result to financing, increased financing. But the problem the government faced in first half of 2025 was that they couldn't have enough financing.
So it wasn't about them being disciplined.
It wasn't about them being disciplined.
Because that's the narrative that some of us have thought about, that government has been very disciplined in the first half of the year 2025. But you are telling us it is not about the discipline, but it is about revenue mobilization and enough funds.
Not enough funds to spend, yes. For instance, the government budgeted to raise total financing of over 32 billion. They're only able to get about 15-something billion. They collected half
of the target
of what they had budgeted for in the first half of 2025. Because of that, monies to spend were not available. In fact, when it comes to foreign borrowing component, they fell short about 63%, over 63%.
But
they couldn't get it.
That's woeful.
And even local domestic borrowing too, the government fell short. Because of that, what happened was that it derailed the government expenditure program. On one hand, it is good for us because they didn't get the money to borrow, and it has led to the decreases in the deficit. On the other hand, expenditure program, the capital investment, went down drastically.
But in as much as it was good in one hand, as you say.
In the short term.
In the short term. But it was still planned for. These were expenditures.
It was not planned for.
I'm saying that they needed the money to spend on things they had planned for, which means those things could not be done at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
So in the long term, it is affecting us.
Long term is going to affect us if it continues. For instance, of the policy of the big push.
Yes.
Infrastructure program.
Yes.
In the first half of the year, they wanted to spend around $18 billion Ghana cedis. But they're only able to spend 7 billion Ghana cedis. So you can imagine.
That's less than half of
what they had planned to spend in the first year. Meanwhile, infrastructure is falling apart, especially road infrastructure.
There's Amasama and Pukwasi Amasama Road we are talking about every day.
You can't go to Kumasi now.
It's bad.
It's very bad. It's very, very bad. If you use a small car, going to Kumasi is very difficult now.
And I am always sad about those who live beyond Amasamai and Ajin Kutuku and all of those things.
Exactly. So while not spending so much is helping to even strengthen the macroeconomy in the short term, in the long term, if this thing continues, there'll be a problem. You look at, for instance, Gold Board. The government had planned to allocate 4.55 billion to the Gold Board. In the first half of the year, they couldn't allocate anything. 0 was sent to the Gold Board. The gold they are buying on behalf of the Bank of Ghana, not the seed money.
No, this is news to me.
The seed money the government planned to give to the Gold Board, they couldn't send anything.
So as we speak, per the report from the first half of the year, There is no money at all.
The government could not allocate any money to
from the Ministry of Finance.
From the Ministry.
So it is the Bank of Ghana which is advancing money to the gold board to buy gold for Bank of Ghana.
Yeah, exactly. This is what is going on.
So the gold board is not operating on its own.
Not yet. Not yet. We hope
And to be able to export gold, do the assayance and everything, and export gold and all of that. Gold board is not being able to do that.
because it hasn't been given the seed money yet. So this is how the difficult revenue situation and the financing in particular. The government was short about 16 billion from the finance component, short of 3 billion from revenue component. So there was not much money to move around. So that's what we have found. And of course, the implication is.
But what has been preached is a conscious effort to maintain fiscal discipline, not that they have not received enough money.
In fact, the original budget 2025 was good because the deficit levels were low, and we're happy about that. Now the deficit levels have also gone down sharply because of the situation you are talking about right now.
So this is your recommendation would be to change the strategy for revenue mobilization.
Exactly.
How is that? How is that going to be done? How should government do that?
You see,
and that's your first recommendation.
Over the period, the government has been resorting to tax policy and tax administration changes. Since 1980s, led by IMF World Bank, but it hasn't led to anywhere, in the sense that we are dealing with a country that is originally poor. Workers' incomes are very low. If you go to AGI, they are complaining about that. They are not that competitive.
Yes.
Imports are coming from China and they cannot compete. So if you overtax individuals, you overtax, businesses, you are damaging the economy. And your tax revenue may not even come in the long term. So what has happened is that despite pursuing tax policy, tax to GDP ratio in Ghana, the highest you were able to reach was 2024, 15.9%. African average is about 20.5%. 15.9% of GDP is how much total revenue and grants
that tax is giving us.
Even including everything, total revenue and grants, you are getting only about 15.9% out of our GDP. African average is about 20.5%. Middle income average is about 22%. So it shows that tax administration changes, tax policy, they are not helping as much. What actually is causing the difficulty regarding revenue mobilization is that we are not looking critically into the extractive sector. The policies we are pursuing in the extractive sector are not good enough.
How?
And IFS, we have been calling for changes since 2020. We wrote a very big paper, and we presented, inviting people.
Yes.
But the government hasn't been able to be bold enough. Not this government alone.
Yes.
Including the previous government.
Yes. Is it about how much we are receiving from the extractive sector through royalties, for example, or the percentage of the country in the shareholding, or how
basically
we track the extractive sector to make the revenue you want us to make?
Basically, the fiscal regime we are pursuing in the extractive sector is concession. Extractive resources, other minerals or gold, oil, basically belong to the people of Ghana. And for that matter, they should serve as the primary source of revenue mobilization in the country. But the government is going the way of concession. When you sign concession agreement with other domestic or foreign company, basically you have transformed these publicly owned resources into private resources. And the government is saying, we are going to tax you. It is when they are able to generate revenue that you tax them. So if revenues are not coming in, how do you get tax revenue? And if you look at revenues that are declared relative to total production, very small. So, for instance, in the gold sector, based on our sample, the government is getting only about 6%
of the revenue that's coming in.
Of the total revenue they generate, total revenue
for the gold sector.
For the gold sector, gold and other minerals, but of course gold is the dominant, only 6%. If you compare with Botswana, which is also extracting minerals, basically diamond over there, they have other sources of other minerals too. They get about 52% of the value of what
they are producing, extracting.
Or they are producing. But we get only about 6%. How do you generate revenue? Meanwhile, it should serve as the primary source of revenue to the government. The oil sector is doing better. But still, you are getting around 17, 18, 20%.
But that's still bad. That's still woefully inadequate.
And the reason why the oil sector is better is that GMPC is holding some interest in the name of Ghana, interest. And it is only about 16.5%. And that is giving rise to the better performance in the oil sector. So what are we calling for? I said the state should be actively involved.
In the extractive sector.
In the extractive
especially
sector.
The gold and the mineral and other mining. We should be actively involved in the mining of these resources.
You say GMPC should increase interest from 16.5% on average to not less than 50%.
But GMPC is for the oil. We have the Minerals Commission.
The mineral sector.
We have GIADEC. We have all of these people. What are we doing?
For the mineral sector, basically everything is on concession. So it's a government. You know, AGC, or Ashanti Goldfish Corporation.
Yes.
It was 55% Ghana, 45% some British company. And Ghana was doing well, especially after the reforms. But we privatized it, and now everything is on concession basis. That is why we are not making so much from the gold sector.
But this is sad. This is very sad. And have you engaged government IFS?
We have engaged the government.
You've engaged the Minister of Finance, Ato Forson?
In fact, surprisingly, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Ato Forson himself, during the economic forum we held.
Yes, the National Economic Dialogue.
Yeah, we were invited, we went there, we emphasized, but he himself came out with this, that Ghana is getting only the country is generating about 14% of GDP, but Ghana gets only a pittance out of it. 40% of GDP. You know, total revenue and grants, I just said that it is, 15.9%. That is the highest you have reached. And if 14% of GDP is sitting down somewhere, what should the government be doing? It has to be chasing it. Is the government chasing it? No. You know, so the government knows. This paper I'm talking about, when we were presenting in 2020, at that time, Dr. Ato Forson was not the minister, he was an MP. We invited him, he was there.
And he was with you, he went through the paper. So there shouldn't be any problem now that he's the Minister of Finance himself.
And in fact, let me quote President Mahama in April. He made this statement, and I want to read it. Quote, "The time has come for Africa to unashamedly take advantage of the natural resource endowment that God has given us. Post-colonialism, we didn't have technology, we didn't have capital, and we didn't have the human resource. And so foreign companies come and take huge concessions and they sign it off for a pittance, and they run those concessions to the benefit of their colonial metropolis. Today, I think that in Africa, we have developed the core of human resource that is capable of also taking advantage of some of these resources. We have the technology to be able to do whatever any of these big conglomerates are doing. And the capital is available in the world to mobilize to be able to do the same thing. When this thing was presented in April,
the current president, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama.
The current president, when he said this, at IFS we were excited. I, in particular, I was jubilant. But we waited in the mid-year review and nothing has been said. So you are reminding the government, you yourself.
You know the problem.
You know the problem.
You have stated and you are quoted. You know the problem.
And nothing is
so we should be taking actions.
So we should take actions. If indeed you are interested in raising total revenue and grants ratio to 20% or more, as our peers are doing.
The review had 4 major points, as we said.
Yeah.
Which are the 3 other ones?
Yeah, the second one, we say, don't rush to go to the international bond market.
Why? We shouldn't go to the international bond market. Our local bonds are declining. People are losing interest in participating in that, at least from the report we have from SEC and GSE.
Because these are short-term solutions. And as I said yesterday, you cannot permanently rely on somebody's money to develop your country.
I agree with that.
You can't. So this still boils down to what we are talking about. Don't rush and go and borrow. You know what borrowing has done to this country. What it did to this country in the 1980s, what it did to this country in the 2000s, and what it has just done to us. Once we borrow, especially in Ghana and other African countries, we borrow in hard currencies. You borrow in somebody's currency. You don't use this. And especially our gold resources, oil resources are not given as much. How do you generate money to be able to pay for it? So they lead to economic crisis. If in 2022, this country didn't go back to IMF, you don't know what will have happened. You'll be spending about 200 cedis for $1 by this time. So we are saying, don't rush to the bond market. Solve your domestic revenue mobilization issue. Be bold and tackle the extractive sector.
And the third one, because our time is up, we can run through it, at least the last two, then we round up. But we are taking notes. And for this particular one, President Mahama, you understand the problem. The concession bits and all of that. We are expecting that you will begin to take actions. In our first interview, we said you are forcing Minister of Finance. You need to begin to take action on this one. Let's be able to clap for you well. So please do. And the third one.
The third one is what I just talked about. That in the budget, there's no address. The government is not addressing the extractive sector. So let's go to the fourth one.
The fourth one
is that support to NIB and other financial institutions.
National Investment Bank?
Have to be fully recorded in the budget.
Okay.
The government supported NIB, cash of about 450 million, and it was recorded in the budget. But another 1.5 billion bond they issued, because we are basically, adopting accrual-based budgeting. And for accrual-based budget, every expenditure has to be recorded, not cash alone. That one was left out. This is what happened during the previous government administration. When the support to the financial sector, they didn't record, but it is still there. So you have to record it so that it has an impact in the deficit, and you manage as to how you settle it in the future. You cannot, this is called extra budgetary expenditure. They have to be recorded.
And for watchers like you, if you don't have that data and information, you will not be able to assess properly the strength of the economy. And for investors who want to come in, they will not be able to properly assess without that data to be able to do their investments properly and so on and so forth. So yes, I think I agree that they have to be recorded. Doc, let me say thank you to you. Let me say thank you to you. So 4 major points that you have recommended. First is a concession, which is a strategy for government to change to increase revenue mobilization. You've also mentioned the recording of extra expenses that are made in the budget, and there are two more.
There's one more.
There is one more.
Don't rush to the international.
Don't rush to the international market. Doc, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm grateful for your time. I think that the government is watching and will take lessons from this, and maybe there should be the opportunity also for you to do, even though they have been with you on platforms, still to take your notes and advise themselves. So that's Dr. Said Boakye, Acting Executive Director, Institute of Fiscal Studies. Doc, thank you very much once again. This is Business Edge on Good Afternoon Ghana. Thank you very much for watching. It's been exciting this afternoon and tight this afternoon. My name is Kwesi Afriyie. We are back the whole of next week from Monday to Friday for God and country. Thank you all very much for doing the watching.
Some loves are born in the blink of an eye.
I've been madly in love with her since the first time I saw her. Then let's get married today.
I'll be the happiest woman in the world by your side.
And they kill your soul in a flash. Televisa presents You Are the One. Angela dreams of keeping her promise to be a great doctor and help her people. To Alvaro, ambition is stronger than his dream. And this greed will lead him to commit the worst betrayal to the woman he loves.
I will have a husband no matter what.
Samantha, will you please marry me?
Turning all her dreams into painful disappointments and dangerous consequences.
I've been waiting for you to answer my calls, Alvaro. I haven't heard anything from you. I've sent you so many messages, but you've never responded.
Have you left the bus station?
I just want to pay my debt and get out of here. Her photographs are going to sell fast, and she will be our gold mine. Our clients will love those.
Are you looking for a boyfriend?
You Are the One. Featuring Alejandra Robles Gil, Brandon Peniche, Danilo Carrera, Bárbara Islas, Ernesto LaGuardia, and a great cast.
Fifra ye free nyina ye de bedie ntia de ya fugia ne aduane saasro pintin bi aseda ome de ye di koye mu ne de awie nyina na makuafo modem so won fifre su ne nya bidio na so bate aseman Ghana mu a akuafo akoya abo pupu obo wasio na so da su kache wona sam fifre mama mu nyina nya bidie na nso mpuntudwo mu aka akiri pa ekwan ben ne befa so ama akuafo fifre ho abanfa so de aban hyehye ne dwumadi ahodo ode bre akuafo no bo wote ase Feed Ghana ye den na nkokọ ketenkete so mfa so ama akuafo nso ye den we inti na hyehye dwumadi esunkwa ya to ne akuafo mo ye de bre Original TV and Metro TV so dwumadi beba akwanya ama mpanyimfo anim de ewa abafukwaye mu akire wadwen ye je akuafo ha no amane akogye mu aye e de free abamu mpanyimfo ho enimi ni ehia akuafo nyonko samo honto eda joada enwumre no nso kosi ne no nwotwe e Original TV so saanso na da yawada enwumre no nwotwe kosi no nkono e Metro TV so akuafo mo Ghana akuafo abomode na yempene wo.
Ekuyafumo is sponsored by ACAP Compost. ACAP Compost comes in 3 varieties: ACAP Compost, ACAP Compost X, ACAP Compost Plus.
Back in the day, you tune in radio from morning, and you don't want to miss out because anybody who comes on is massive.
Back in the day on Metro TV, Mr. BKD anywhere.
Back in the day, mentioning the place that you used to live, no, that meant that you were Dadaba.
Oh, how?
Because we are the ones who went to Saito.
I wasn't really a nightclub person.
No, I mean,
the only times I went to the nightclub, Yoko Dixon took me.
Yeah.
You have a Walkman by your side. Now that was your selector. The Walkman was your selector. So when you play the first song and you want to change the song, you have to start cueing your next song through your headphone.
Hi, my name is Ivan Pashiga. I'm the CEO of Farmhouse Productions. I'm a film director, producer. You are watching Back in the Days with Sammy B on Metro TV.
Massa, we're a guy and yes, Sammy B a feature. This is Back in the Day. Keep watching.
Back in the Day is brought to you by Telecel Ghana.